We start this morning rush with a somber story for you. Family and friends continue to mourn the loss of 1-year-old Anastazia Zuber while her parents are charged in her death. Police found her body buried in the backyard of an Albuquerque home last week. Her parents, Monique Romero and David Zuber, remain charged, accused of leaving her in a bathtub unsupervised where police believe she drowned. A candlelight vigil was held last night in her honor. Romero and Zuber have 2 other children together. They're both in CYFD custody.
Prosecutors are trying to keep Zuber behind bars through trial. Prosecutors were also trying to do the same for Romero, but a judge ruled, in spite of APD testimony that drug paraphernalia was found inside the family apartment, that Romero is not a flight risk and ordered that she undergo drug treatment. Now, she remains in custody this morning, but the judge's ruling will allow her to post bail and be released. Kristen.
Increasing cloud cover and eventually some showers breaking out over southern and western New Mexico, especially later this afternoon and evening. This will continue to spread into the state overnight and overnight into tomorrow. We're getting some pretty significant snowfall in the north and northeast, a few to several inches possible up there in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. David?
We begin with a live look over Washington, D.C. right now, where the president is scheduled to leave for his planned trip to the U.S.-Mexico border. This as he continues to push for border wall funding, the issue still at the center of the partial government shutdown. Now, on Wednesday, President Trump and Republican leaders met with top Democrats in what became a contentious round of discussions. Now, the Democrats say they will not give in, or give the president, rather, his requested $5.7 billion that he is requesting. The president is calling yesterday's talks a waste of time. An estimated 800,000 federal employees on furlough or working without paychecks will face missing a paycheck tomorrow.
And with a new study outranking New Mexico as the #2 state most affected by the government shutdown, many federal employees are likely scrambling to make ends meet. But one local company wants to help. PNM officials tell me they realize this can be scary for those families and say they won't be shutting off those families' electricity if they're already behind on their bills. All people need to do is provide PNM a copy with their furlough letter. There are also options for those federal employees not behind on their bill. For more information, go to alwaysonkRQE.com.
On to new news for you this morning. Federal officials say food stamps will be guaranteed through February. It's a sigh of relief for a lot of folks. Funding was initially only available until January 31st because of the government shutdown. However, the USDA announced February's benefits will be released early around January 20th. That's before the cutoff. Of course, we'll continue following the very latest on the partial government shutdown and the president's border visit. We'll have that for you right here at alwaysonkRQE.com.
New this morning, a man is facing charges in connection to a fatal shooting in northern New Mexico. The FBI says Dennis Velasquez Jr. faces a federal count of murder following his arrest at his home in Rio Arriba County. The FBI says that Velasquez is accused of shooting a Native American man whose identity has not been released by the FBI. The man's body was found Saturday afternoon on State Highway 68. This is near the Pueblo's OK Hotel Casino.
New this morning, State Land Commissioner Stephanie Garcia-Richards set to sign an executive order banning killing contests on state trust land. One example, ranchers say coyote killing contests are a tool to manage packs of coyotes that threaten livestock. Garcia-Richards is scheduled to be joined by animal and wildlife advocates from across the state at a press conference this morning. Kristen.
Metro threat index up to 4. We've got some cold temperatures near freezing this morning, but also the chance for some spotty rain showers later on this evening, continuing overnight into tomorrow. So be sure to grab that umbrella before you leave. Chris.
City says it will now analyze what people are calling a dangerous intersection on Albuquerque's west side. People say too many drivers are speeding and turning into traffic at the intersection of Universe and Irving. Last October, a truck turning onto Universe hit a woman's car, then took off. In May, another driver was hit by a speeding car. Most recently, a deadly crash took the young lives of cousins Jacob and Caden Montoya. We'll let you know if the city decides to make any changes to that intersection.
A new cat cafe in Albuquerque is hoping to give animal lovers a new place to hang out and, of course, find cats a forever home. Catopia Cat Cafe on Paseo del Norte in Wyoming opened up about a week ago. Owner Sandy Dirks says that a lot of people are already coming to check it out. Now, so far, there are 13 cats right now. All of the cats are from the City of Albuquerque's Animal Welfare Department and Desert Paws, which is a rescue group. Dirks hopes that all the cats will be adopted.
Taking a look at that Thursday morning commute, nothing major when it comes to crashes or tie-ups coming up on the map just now. And as we take a look at the Big I, looks to be moving at a posted speed. Of course, we'll keep tabs on this for you throughout the morning.
The world's richest person getting a divorce. Billionaire Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie announced that they are splitting after 25 years of marriage. The two made the joint announcement on social media without giving a reason for the split. Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is worth more than $136 billion. It's unclear how a divorce will be affecting his net worth and possibly hers.
Now to some video going viral this morning. A news helicopter in Kansas City catches a giant game of Mario Kart being played on the video board at Kauffman Stadium. That's the home of the Kansas City Royals. And while you can see the game going on, you cannot see who's playing it. The video ended up going viral and, of course, even caught the eye of the Royals, who say the game was part of an associates fundraiser to kick off the year. Pretty fun.
Taking you back 32 years ago on this day, January 10th, 1987, we had a bitter cold air mass invade the Rocky Mountain region, dropped our temperature significantly across the state. You can see 26 below zero is what Eagle Nest came up with, 11 below zero in Red River, even Gallup coming in with some sub-zero readings. That was 32 years ago on this day. Time now for the 5 facts.
Start with number 5 here. Local donut shop will soon be on the move across Albuquerque. Bristol Donut Company launched this week inside a British double-decker bus. The owners say the mobile location is a new experience that they're excited to share with the city. For now, the bus will be stationary at the corner of Central and Bryn Mawr and will move around in the future. How cool is that?
At number 4, candidates to replace 2 retired members of the New Mexico Supreme Court are scheduled to be vetted by a nominating commission. Once the nominations are made, New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham will appoint replacements for recently retired justices Charles Daniels and Petra Mays. Now, the appointed justices will then have to run for election in 2020 to serve out the remainder of the terms that end in 2026.
At number 3, grab the umbrella. Looking at some spotty rain showers possible here in Albuquerque, not only tonight but tomorrow as well. Areas favored south and west for the best coverage of the rain. Some mountain snow likely overnight into tomorrow up north, and another storm has eyes on New Mexico Saturday night into Sunday.
Oof, get ready for that. Number 2 now, PNM officials say they are offering help to federal employees who are affected by the shutdown. Right now, PNM says all people need to do is provide them with a copy of their furlough letter to qualify for the help. If and when a partial government shutdown comes to an end and the family is still behind on paying their bills, PNM says they will be willing to talk to those families to figure out an arrangement to get them back on track. If you want more details, go to our website. That's always on KRQE.com.
And at number 1 this morning, family and friends continue to mourn the loss of 1-year-old Anastazia Zuber. This is while her parents are charged in her death. Police found her body buried in the backyard of an Albuquerque home last week. Her parents, Monique Romero and David Zuber, remain charged in her death again, accused of leaving Anastasia in a bathtub unsupervised. That's where police believe that she drowned. The couple's 2 other children are now in CYFD custody. Prosecutors are trying to keep Zuber behind bars through trial, and they also tried to do the same for Romero. But a judge ruled, in spite of APD testimony that drug paraphernalia was found inside the home, the family home rather, that Romero can be released and undergo drug treatment. She remains in custody this morning.